Greetings of peace, people. Welcome to episode 60 of Freshly Grounded. This episode is with none other than Nasser Al Yarimi. I've been meaning to have him on the podcast for a while. Alhamdulillah, we finally got to chop it up, and it was lovely, man. Before I talk about the podcast and our sponsors, I just want to send a huge Mabruk to our brother Abdul Samad Sam, who is normally co-hosting with me on the podcast. I couldn't mention it last week because he hadn't mentioned it, so it was his news to tell. But alhamdulillah, now that he's mentioned it, we can say it. Sam, alhamdulillah, has become a father for the second time now to a lovely little boy, beautiful little boy. And that's why he hasn't been on the podcast this week and last week. But inshallah, he should be back next week. Inshallah, we've got it all scheduled and planned, so that should go well. And we'll be speaking to him about it and asking him about it. But yeah, that's why Sam's not here. Very good reason. Very positive reason. He's busy being a dad, alhamdulillah, and we ask that Allah blesses him and his family. Ameen. And let's get into some sponsors. This podcast, it would not be as good as it is, and a lot of times may not even be possible without our sponsors. And so the podcast is brought to you firstly by 59. That's 50_NINE on Instagram. 59 is a cafe. It has freshly ground coffee, fresh juices, cold pressed juices, healthy snacks, vegetarian and vegan friendly snacks, desserts. You can have your lunch there. You got salads. Amazing place. 59 Stanhope Road in St Albans, Hertfordshire. Do pop down there if you're ever in the Hertfordshire area, or if you're not, make a day of it. You know, bring your family down, bring some friends, and have a nice little brunch at 59. If you go to 59, make sure you use the code word freshly grounded at I was about to say at checkout, but at the till, and you'll get £1 off, which means you'll get a coffee for very cheap. And anything else you can get £1 off. Also brought to you by Izaha, IZAHA.com. Izaha.com is the one-stop shop for Arabic style hats, caps, t-shirts, jumpers. If you're walking down the street and you see someone wearing a cap with some Arabic writing on it, it's probably Izaha, and you want to be there too. So Izaha.com, IZAHA.com, and use the code word freshly grounded for 20% off. Very generous. I know, I am aware. It was under duress that I made that statement, but I'm sticking to it. And lastly, brought to you by FeedSource. FeedSource.com. They're launching V2 soon, but it's the place that you want to go if you have a business or a brand and you want to get monthly content created for your brand, for your Instagram, for your social media pages. They have an in-house studio. They have a team who can go out to your location if you're a restaurant or hotel, etc. And they create images for your feed at on a monthly basis, so you get high quality feed content like the content that they've provided for Hilton, like the content that they provided for Deliveroo, same level of content that they provided for those big brands, but now they've made it accessible for smaller brands and startup companies with their new system, which is known as FeedSource. So originally the guys obviously have an arm called Flavor. So do check that out, feedsource.com. When you do contact them, do let them know that you heard about it from Freshly Grounded, inshallah, for a little bit of love, you know what I mean? And inshallah will help us track kind of the listeners that go over there from us. This podcast is shot actually in the FeedSource studios every week, so there's a nice little fact for you. What do we talk about in this podcast with Nasser? Alhamdulillah, we go into many topics. Talk about Nasser and his journey. Where did he come from? Where did he all of a sudden go from 0 to 30,000 plus followers on Instagram? We speak about kind of his journey briefly. We speak about Muslim Belal and our both of our kind of experiences with Belal. It's all positive, alhamdulillah. We have a brief discussion about brotherhood and sisterhood. And we'll leave that at that. That's an interesting discussion for you guys to listen to. And yeah, man, we talk about it. And alhamdulillah, for the first time in a long time, current events was back. We had producer Nate dropping some current events for us, so that was very interesting too. Make sure you guys do give this podcast episode a listen. I very much enjoyed being here and recording this episode with Nasser and with Nate. And right now, as we speak, as you listen to this, I am probably away for the week. And therefore we shot this episode a few days earlier than we normally do, and I'll be back inshallah towards the end of the week, and then we will have Abdul Samad for episode 61. So without any further ado, brothers and sisters, this is episode 60 of Freshly Grounded. Let's get into it. I think that was the smoothest intro I've ever done.
And welcome to Freshly Grounded, the brand new podcast by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Huh?
I said welcome to Freshly Grounded,
No, after that bit.
the brand new podcast
And after that bit?
by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Really?
Everything recording? Yeah. And so, is what you're saying, Nathan, that we are live?
Correct.
We are live.
We are live.
Nasser Al Yarimi.
Why you say it with a French accent?
How am I supposed to say it? You say it the best way.
Nasser Al Yarimi.
Nasser Al Yarimi in the
What are
building.
you saying?
This is
We're live in the flesh, guys.
a pleasant surprise.
Alhamdulillah.
You have you been wanting to be on Freshly Grounded, or have you seen it, or do you know anything about it?
I've
Have you
seen
ever
it.
come across us?
No. I'm very, very, very familiar, bro.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Very. You know what it is, yeah? I've always been watching.
Yeah.
That's one of them ones where I
From the
didn't...
sidelines.
Like, you know when you say... I've seen a couple of your posts where you say, I want to get someone Freshly Grounded. Who wants to come on?
Yeah.
I look at the comments and I see people tag me because it comes up on my timeline.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, nah,
yeah.
please, Facebook, don't holler at me. That's why today I was kind of...
The holler came.
The holler came, but inshallah we can do this. I'm basically paranoid, guys.
Nasser's paranoid.
I don't think I can talk for long in it, but he's saying apparently.
I'm saying so. This is first of all, this is your first ever time being on a podcast. Am I right?
Yeah.
Right. So
Podcast. This is
a podcast. Yeah.
Official podcast. Yeah. but
Official podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not like a long talky thing. An official podcast.
Not like an interview.
Nah, not an interview. Okay. So let me break it down for you. Of how what we do at Freshly Grounded and how it works and this, that, the other. So basically, the idea, what I normally tell guests before they jump on, is just relax, and it's like a couple of brothers having a chat on a sofa, except we have mics, yeah? And the other thing I always tell guests is it's not an interview. So we're not going to be interviewing you. We're not going to be asking questions like, okay, so... but obviously, naturally, because we've got a guest in the room, we'll be
There's going to be some focus on the guest kind of thing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But it's not going to be an interview.
Like,
it's
okay,
just two guys having a chat.
That's it.
And so that's what I tend to tell people. And so that's what it's going to be.
That's it.
Alhamdulillah.
I'm ready.
I'm conscious that... no, I'm not conscious of that. I was just conscious that because I'm wearing shorts, I didn't want the camera to...
Will they not pick it up?
No, it won't pick it up, will it?
Okay.
The our camera's not that wide. It's not a GoPro that's showing the entire room in the corner. But yeah, bro, alhamdulillah, you're here.
Alhamdulillah.
How's things in general?
Things are booming.
Yeah?
Alhamdulillah, yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Going good.
How I want to talk to you a bit firstly about like fitness and stuff, because I know that you're a guy that's like into like your sports somewhat, and you're into fitness and stuff.
Yeah.
So are you hitting gym at the moment?
I'm hitting the gym, but I think the gym is hitting me.
Yeah. Have you got like a consistent routine?
Yeah, I got a consistent routine. Basically, it's not like a what do you want to call it, bodybuilder kind of thing. Because my gym has a boxing bag, pads and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I've always been into boxing kind of thing. So when I go there, obviously I have my days where I train for size. I have my days where I train for stamina because I play football. Yeah. And I have my days where I train just for sparring and whatnot.
So how many days are you going gym right now?
About 4 or 5.
Okay.
About 4 or 5 days.
And you're doing, or how many days are you doing like weights and stuff? How many
I do weights all the time.
Okay.
But it depends what you're talking about. For example, on the days where I'm working more on stamina, I'll do lighter weights.
Okay.
And like for the more athletic kind of look or whatever. Because basically, breaking it down, I play football. Yeah. I like to do boxing here and there, but not nothing too serious. I'm more serious about. I'm more serious about the football kind of side of things. And generally speaking, I have a high metabolism. So whenever I do train for size or whatever, I have to go extra harder.
Yeah. So because I was speaking to a brother yesterday who we had a family barbecue, and so there was like extended family and friends who were there. Yeah. And there was a brother there yesterday who we were talking about gym, and he made a really substantial weight loss, and like maybe a year or so ago, a year and a half, and since then he's been training, and he's actually got a very high metabolism now. So I don't know if metabolism is something that can change, or if it's can it change? Yeah.
I'm not sure
it can. It can, innit?
Yeah, Nate's
can train it.
yeah.
Fluctuation.
And so he has very high metabolism.
Yeah.
And so he's, I think, naturally very skinny. And so he said that he tried so hard bulking, and he's just kind of given up, and now he's just kind of going for the trim look.
Yeah.
And so I was asking,
that's the same with me, man. I can't.
Yeah.
Like when I tried bulking before, it does for me.
You both have high metabolism, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it don't work. I just kind of because I spoke to Lats and Ajman and whatnot,
Yeah.
and I go to them, look, how can I go for the lean bulk kind of thing?
Yeah.
And apparently it takes longer, but that's what I'm gonna go for, because bulking, generally speaking, it doesn't work for me. And I heard that apparently, I don't know if there's so many gym myths, yeah, and I'm just
there's a lot of gym myths.
Yeah, I'm new to all this, innit?
Yeah.
But apparently, like if you bulk too quick, you get mad stretch marks one time. And
so let me tell you about let me tell you what happened with me. So basically, I was never like an avid gym goer until 2 years ago. As in, so I would train here and there, but like the most regular person. Yeah, nothing. I wouldn't call myself as like a gym guy. Not that I would now.
Yeah.
But anyway, then obviously 2 years ago I started training, and my story is on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, and I put it up there because I made quite a big transition. I was around, like, I think at one point I might have even been 65 kg, and I made it to about 84. So I gained about almost 20 kg. And alhamdulillah, I felt good, and this and the other, and I was training with Ajmal Al Lats. Now the problem with training with Ajmal Al Lats for like a year and a half straight is the good things are that you will definitely make a lot of progress. The bad thing is that they train very hard because they've been in the game for over 10 years. And so as a newbie, when you're training with them, you'll gain size very quickly. And so I've got stretch marks all over my body now.
Oh,
yeah, I've got stretch marks everywhere. So and I spoke to Ajmal. I said, why have I got like such like strong stretch marks, like proper like vibrant stretch marks? And he said, just because you put size on too quickly. So so then what happened is I moved gyms, not because of that. I'm not going to train with you guys anymore. I actually really miss training with them because they're amazing, man. I would recommend them guys as personal trainers to anyone. But yeah, I moved because, bro, do you know what? I was traveling about 45 minutes each way to go to the gym. So imagine my gym after work. My gym schedule was already taking an hour. When I was training with them, our training sessions were about 2 hours long. So almost every single day, I'm training 2 hours, and on top of that, I've got an hour and a half journey to and from. And so I switched gyms. And what that's done is that's made my gym journey about 5 minutes, because there's a gym in my house. And coincidentally, my gym sessions have become much shorter because obviously I'm not training with those guys. And so the negatives is that I'm not gaining as fast as I want at all, and I'm lacking a lot of motivation. But the only positive really is that I'm saving a lot of time. But time is very valuable to me, and it should be to everyone, to be honest. It's the only thing. This has got a very big limit, and it's pretty much the only thing that we have for free at this point. But I stopped going to the gym 7 weeks ago because I went to Gambia, and then when I come back from Gambia, I was like, there's only 2 weeks left of Ramadan, and then the Ramadan I trained 4 weeks. So I haven't trained for like 6 or 7 weeks, and I got back into the gym last week. I was mentioning the podcast, and it was horrible, man. And so now I've lost all of my muscle and everything. I'm just like podge. But so now I'm trying to build it all back up. My point is that I have a slow metabolism. So I've never experienced what you experience. I've always been quite like I wouldn't say I was ever fat, but I was always a bit podgy in it.
Yeah.
So I've always had like some podge and some like extra like layers of fat around me. I didn't find it hard to put on weight at all. I still put on weight very easily, which can be frustrating. And if anything little I eat, I can feel it on me. If I eat if I eat biscuits like consistently, I'm gonna see the impact on my body instantly. Whereas Nate can go through a whole packet of biscuits every single day and you won't see a difference. So I don't find it hard to do that bit, but I find it very hard to lose weight, because I personally would probably like to be a bit trimmer and while still building lean muscle, whereas you I suppose would like to put on weight, right?
No.
But in the past you would have.
I would have, in the past.
But now what is it? Have you just accepted that you won't be able to?
Yeah.
But like, you would be able to.
I would be able to, but I'm not willing to take on what it comes with, innit?
Yeah, you know it's very long term as well.
Plus, with football and everything, I think it'll kind of slow me down, innit? Nate, what do you think?
Yeah, that's the kind of balance I'm at, because I'm the same. My lower half, my legs are like proper solid, and my upper half is not. I'm not saying it's not solid, but it's not as bulky as my bottom half. So when I can maneuver on the football pitch nice and easy, it's like a perfect balance. Foundation is strong. You can just
That's it.
Bounce.
Yeah, because
look at us chatting like a bunch of gym guys here. All this testosterone in this room.
I'm telling
We'll
you.
there's probably some people who are like actual serious gym goers listening right now, cringing at this conversation.
Trust me.
Look at these guys talking about the gym.
The gym.
They don't know the half of it.
Speaking of more of a athlete point of view.
Yeah, we have
Athletic, yeah. But bro, I'm not gonna lie, yeah. Have you ever been to a restaurant with me? We've had meals, but I don't think actual.
No, maybe
No,
not.
I don't
Do you
think
eat a
that.
lot?
I heard the stories.
From who?
Do you eat a lot,
Yourself.
bro? I feel like you eat a lot.
You're the other week in the masjid.
Bro, I'm telling you, akhi, yeah.
You eat a lot.
If you come to a restaurant with me, I'll order 2 meals just for myself.
Yeah, I heard this. I hear this.
Matter of fact, who are witnesses? Musa,
Yeah.
Abu Abdul Aziz, and Khawfa brothers, yeah. Actually, whenever I'm in a restaurant, bro, and it's not like I'm doing it just to kind of for gym purposes or whatever, I can genuinely eat that much. Like my body's satisfied when I have a big meal. Like, and when people see, obviously I'm a slim guy, so when people see me eating that much, they're kind of shocked. Yeah.
But bro, do you know what? Do you know what? That I personally, with my gym expertise, I personally think that's the problem. Reason being, the only reason I say that is not for me because I don't have the expertise, but it's because from Lats. I remember he was training a client while I was there once, and then they asked him how to put on weight, and he actually advised them to eat smaller meals but more often.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we assume that what he's saying is correct, which I'm sure is because he's so like high up in his field, then perhaps you need to cut those meals down. And what you would normally have as one meal, you half that, but so you're still having the same amount in a day, but you're just spreading it. And what that does, I believe, is slow down your metabolism.
Oh, right.
I believe. I don't know for sure, but I'm making a lot of assumptions here. So nobody like follow my plan without like consulting someone like that's what Ajmal. But try that, bro. But although now your goal has changed to. But bro, who doesn't want to be big? Yeah. Let's be honest.
No, I'm gonna, that's the thing. I don't want to be too big, and I don't like. My goal is basically light exercise. That's me good.
Yeah,
for
you want
life.
to be agile, right?
Yeah, that's me good for life.
I don't know, man.
So you don't want to be big, but you want to be lats size.
No, that's big. No. But he looks athletic.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying you want to be lats size?
Yeah, and
that's big, bro.
Yeah, no, but.
Yeah, so you want to be big,
just
because that's big.
Yeah, but apparently
he's huge.
There's a
you know,
little,
he's like when he's at peak, he's at like 94 kg. Yeah, so he's definitely not.
But
small.
apparently, there's a principle.
Yeah.
That the gym goers have. Apparently, when you get big, you always want to get bigger. Like you're never satisfied.
But Ajmal has that. Ajmal is 2-time world champion bodybuilder, natural bodybuilder, and he looks at himself in the mirror and thinks his arms are too small.
I don't know. Ajmal's something else, bro. That guy's back's like a Honda Civic.
He's like, my arms are too small. I'm like, Ajmal, could we please stop this conversation?
Yeah, I'm telling you. Well,
if his arms are too small, we're all at a very big loss.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
But yeah, I don't know. I just have that perception that like, I think that I don't know. I think it's bad for society. I think it is bad for society to have a expectation of men to look a certain way, because that's like then it comes to the same thing as women. Like society like creates these expectations for women through like social influencers and through famous people, and then women feel very insecure about how they look. But at the same time, I would be lying if I was to say that I do feel like I'll be lying if I didn't say that I really do feel like men should maybe have a bit of size.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you know what I mean?
I was speaking to someone the other day, and he says
it depends. But if you
don't have one of the two,
then
you're basically like kind of not a man.
But do you know what? No. I wouldn't go that far because I don't want to get in trouble. But
no.
What I would say though, bro, is when you get married, bro, you're not married, innit? When you get married, and let's say, bro, if you start going to gym and you get big, your wife's not going to complain. That's what I'm saying. Like she's not gonna be like, my husband, he goes gym and he gets big, like. I want him to be skinny. You know what I mean, bro? Can you imagine that conversation?
I know.
However, I don't want to get like, I'll equally say that I'm not, because I don't want to be. I'm always so I'm always promoting that we shouldn't create these expectations of people in society, because that's what drives people to depression. So I'm kind of counteracting how I am, but I can't deny that is a thought that goes through my head.
No, it is. I was speaking to someone the other day, and they said if a person doesn't have a beard or doesn't have size, that's the only way you can kind of look manly, apparently. And to some extent, like if you don't have a beard, you have to back, like for example me, I have to now back that up by getting big, mate. Obviously, slowly, inshallah, make that my beard's coming through. But Yeah, like if a person doesn't have a beard, the only other way that he might feel manly, that will make him feel manly, is by having size.
But shall I tell you what? Shall I tell you something else? Yeah, and this is something that I've kind of really
not to say that that's what makes you feel manly.
I'll tell you what though, bro. If we stop being politically correct for a second, I think that another thing that really helps to feel strong about yourself and confident about yourself is by like inwardly like having confidence and then like exerting that outwardly. So for example, just like the way you walk, the way you think can have a really big impact on how you are, and that can even like deter like social anxiety and stuff. So for example, if you like walk into in fact Jordan Peterson has a really good he has really good advice for social anxiety. And what he says is that people who are socially anxious, he says that the reason they're socially anxious is because when they walk into a social situation, they see it as like them against this huge monster. So for example, let's say for example a person walks into a party, for all since the benefits of this podcast, a halal party, they walk into the Eid party for example, brothers. And so what they're seeing is they're going into this party, and the party is the monster, and they are the individual, and then that creates this social anxiety. And so the remedy he gave for it, by the way, Jordan Peterson, who is a clinical psychologist, he basically argues that what you have to do is first you have to hold yourself in a certain way. So if you're going to be like shy and not look at people and this, that, the other, and you're hunched over and you're looking down, then you're automatically going to lose. But if you like stand up with your shoulders back, not with the arrogance, but just like
making your presence known.
That's one step. Another step is that you have to like kind of break it down. So for example, instead of viewing the monster as this big party, just everybody knows how to speak to individuals in it. So instead of being like, oh, how am I going to like conversate or be social at this party, break it down to like, all right, cool, let's say I walk into the party now and Nasser, you're there, I don't know you, for example. You're much more easier to approach than a whole party is to approach, isn't it? 100%. So because I can deal with an individual. So break it down by first of all speaking to individual. And one thing that you should do is always use your eyes. So like look at the person and look around. And then what will happen is, let's say for example, Nasser, I'm talking to you, but there's like 5 other people around you. As I'm talking to you, I'm now engaged in a conversation with you. You're going to speak on behalf of the group or the Jama'at, because you can find out what the group is thinking by speaking to one individual who kind of represent the group, right? So let's say I speak to Nasser now. This is making me more comfortable. I'm breaking down my social anxiety. I'm talking to you. And now what I do is when we're flowing into the conversation, I'm going to now use my eyes to also look at other people. And what that does is that brings other people into the conversation. That's what all I'm doing is moving my eyes. So I'm talking to you, we're in a conversation, I'm moving my eyes. And now, before you know it, you're talking to a big group and your social anxiety, you've broken down this monster. So...
You're an expert. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, I'm not an expert, bro. This is what I would just be like.
I'm not gonna lie. That's a very realistic analogy. You know why? Because I've been in situations where I've had to do that myself.
But we all deal with social anxiety, bro.
Literally, bro.
Yeah, all of it. And you know what? The people who are influencers, like for example yourself and myself, although we're micro influencers, but people often assume that they can handle any situation, or they can handle a situation that's like with lots of people, for example. But it's not always the case.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, for example, me, if I get invited to do something publicly in front of a crowd or whatever, a lot of people might think, this guy's confident. Yeah. I wasn't always like that. You know what I'm saying? Because back in the days, obviously, I used to do something else that used to get me like to perform in front of crowds and whatnot. And from there, that's when I started building up confidence and whatnot. So that kind of, even though it's wrong, but it kind of helped me with my confidence. Yeah. So that now I'm in the Muslim scene. I'm kind of confident whenever I'm in front of crowds, really, like no matter how big it is. Like everyone gets nervous, don't get twisted. Everybody gets nervous, it's normal, it's human nature, yeah. But I'm saying like to know how to handle the situation. For example, like when you done Eid in the park, like the way
I was so nervous for that.
That's what I'm saying, but you don't look nervous. When I'm looking at you, you also like look like you're chilling, bro. But that's only because you've done things like that before.
Shall I tell you what happened with Eid in the park, bro? So we did it in the park. We were right at the front, innit? And so for those listening who don't know what I'm talking about, so Musa and I were asked to present Eid in the park, where there was I think like 40,000 people praying, like that, and we were presenting it. So we were on the big screen, we were on live TV doing it, and so I was hella nervous for it, and then the thing that helped me is that because we were right at the front, we couldn't see how many people there were, and I refused to kind of look. So I just did my thing. I kind of zoned it and breaking it down, innit? Once you see it as a big monster, it's not going to work. And then the other thing is I really relied on Musa because Musa's very experienced with presenting. And I think the one thing that I think a lot of people have maybe criticised Musa in the past for, but like everyone gets criticism. You get criticism for different things. And I think that Musa has found his thing now. And this presenting thing, bro, he is good at it.
100%.
He's good at presenting.
I was telling him, bro, you.
Bro, and you know what? It's not easy because you got people in your ear speaking very loud. Then you got a person in front of you going like counting down. Then you try and deal with the person who's next to you, who's your guest, who doesn't have something in their ear. And then you're live on TV. It's very hard. And the way he comes across composed is he carries on. And then a lot of times, bro, in your ear they'll say something like, "Oh, there's been an issue. You're gonna have to carry on for 10 minutes." And you got no script and nothing. And for 10 minutes you have to blab. And so he's very good at it. So I would say that. So just as a side note,
by the way, guys, halfway through all this madness, you see him Snapchatting.
Yeah, Musa smashed it.
Absolute madman.
So anyway, my point is that so Eden Park, we did that, and then only after we did it, and there was a video about it. Like the next day, did I see how many people were there? And there was the drone footage. It was like 40,000 people.
Mad.
But that's the biggest amount of people I've ever done for something in front of.
You know what was crazy, yeah?
I could actually say that I performed in front of 40,000 people.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, that was a performance to some extent.
Yeah, you know what? That's good. That could go in my Instagram bio.
To Eid in the park. Come on, bro.
In a crane shop.
Dude, that's not a performance.
But right, so listen, let's break it down. I have you on.
Just to highlight, by the way, when I was watching the drone footage, like from the actual screen, I think I was the only guy wearing yellow in the whole crowd. So I looked like a little bumblebee. Bro.
You were so conscious about what you were wearing that day as well.
Yeah, proper.
But I often say about people who are kind of have like our level of following that we are what is known as micro influencers, which is there's influencers, big influencers who people have got like 1 million plus, 500,000, 300,000, and then there's micro influencers.
They're scholars and students of knowledge,
right? But in a book, and we are nothing compared to them. With regards to like a social following, if you look at the mainstream world, an influencer will be someone who probably has a few million followers or 1 million plus, and a micro influencer will be anyone who has less than that, so maybe from 100,000 to 800,000. But in the Muslim scene, everything is brought down smaller because the Muslim scene is not very big. So in the Muslim scene, someone who is an influencer would be someone who probably has a following of like 200,000 plus, which is normally a micro influencer, but because it's in the Muslim scene, that's an influencer. And then anyone who has probably above 15 is probably a micro influencer. And so I would consider us micro influencers. We have a small following, 100%. And we have the impact. We can impact a small amount of people in our fields. So the question I had is, how did you get to, for example, that? Because a lot of people say to me, and they said to me when I first started, YouTube and stuff, they said you just kind of came out of nowhere. Like, where did you come from? We're like, do you know what I mean? And I started to explain. But obviously, for me, that's not the case because I've seen my journey because I've always been me. It's like, for example, music artists, not that I'm like trying to compare us to them, but a lot of the times a new music artist will come out and people are like, oh, this person just hit #1 records, this, that, the other, like, where did they come from? But what they don't know is that person has been doing auditions, grinding, but even with actors. So before you got to 20,000 followers, what were you doing? Where did you come from?
No, I ain't got 20,000 followers.
How many you got?
YouTube.
How many you got on YouTube? No, I'm talking about Instagram.
Oh, no. Oh, I thought you were talking about YouTube. Now, YouTube, I think I'm on 19K. And for Instagram, I think 31 or 32, something like that. So
how did you get to 32,000 followers on Instagram? Like, where did you... What would you be doing before? Not
how far do you want to take it back?
Nah, not far back. So I'm saying, like... So you started practicing. Yeah. Now, when you started practicing, did you already have a following? No. So you started practicing.
When I started practicing, I was on I think, 2,000.
Okay, so like a more or less like a normal popular person.
A normal guy.
A normal popular person.
I'm still a normal guy, but...
Right.
No, I wasn't even popular. Like, I was popular amongst my area. Outside my area.
You had friends and stuff.
Pardon?
Okay, so what did you create that got you more of a following? Did you create nasheeds or...
No. I was doing poetry, yeah? Because obviously I just came out of music, so I tried to find that, that typical story that everybody goes through. I used to make music. Poetry, what's my only alternative? Oh, poetry. Right. Yeah, so I was doing all that stuff. And I used to post out little snippets of my little stuff I used to write. Yeah, people liked it. I was getting feedback. And imagine, like, with the 2,000 followers I have, I was getting like 30, 40k views on Insta.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And so I was thinking, right, like, this is working. but I wasn't really focused on it. Like, I would release something like once every 3 months. You know what I mean? It wasn't really my main focus. But then I started releasing more and more and more. These big pages started seeing it, shouting it out, retweeting it, reposting it.
So slowly your following started increasing.
Yeah, but then it only got to about 4,000.
Okay.
Sorry. With that, I started posting Quran recitations now. I started posting Quran recitations now. At the time, I had a studio that I used to use for music, yeah? So, like, the label, they used to give me the keys and I could use the studio whenever I want. And even though, like, it was nothing wrong that I was doing, but, like, because of that environment and because of everything, like, people used to do in that studio, I would be recording Quran, and one guy would roll there. He would walk through the studio and be like, "Hey bro, have you seen my zoot? I left my cigarette here," or like, "Oh, I left my bottle of vodka here," or something like. And these won't be normal people. They'll be like music artists, very big artists. They'll just walk into the studio because remember these people are signed in it. Yeah. So this label is kind of their studio. So I was recording Quran recitations. Well, like 2 hours ago they were recording tunes in there.
Okay.
So that environment. I kind of just utilized it, started recording Quran recitations, proper studio stuff, and put it on my Instagram. And that started getting feedback as well. And then with poetry and the Quran, started growing.
But then what was
hit about 4K.
But what was the peak then? Because there's something will happen where your following will start to increase quickly, and oftentimes that's when you do something or are seen with someone who already has a big following. So did that happen?
No, it didn't happen. Honestly, I don't know, bro.
So when did you start gaining following?
It just started growing. One thing I'd realize though, every Ramadan I would gain a lot of followers.
Okay, so but then how did you get to know the brothers then, for example?
Oh, do you want to? Shall I give you the story?
Yeah, somewhat. And maybe
okay.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, we're on a podcast.
Okay,
podcast is long more you got all the time in the world.
Basically, I started practicing, and I didn't have friends. Like I was practicing. I was alone for about 4 months. Literally, college. I'd go to college. I would go to college, and at that time I had a friend who was really close with, but when we stopped talking because of certain madness, yeah. And then so I was literally on my ones. Me and this guy were like partying, and then obviously circumstances. And then anyways, I was practicing, but throughout my entire period, last about 4 months of me practicing, I was kind of alone. So I would walk in, walk out lessons, whatnot, boom. And the only thing I was accustomed to was wearing a thobe and listening to Quran. Okay. That's what I thought practicing was, and praying my salah, obviously. So I would wear my thobe every day. Wearing the thobe kind of kept me in check in a way, if you want to put it that way. And I used to listen to Quran. So I was going through a phase. I was doing this every day. At the end of 4 months, I was like, bruv, like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was speaking to myself. I'm like, bruv, I'm not gonna lie to myself. I really, really think this is good what I'm doing, listening to Quran, wearing a thobe and whatnot, trying to stay away from haram. But I feel like there's something more. Like, bro, imagine. I'm Yemeni, my mum's from Aden, my dad's from Sana'a. My parents lived in Saudi Arabia for 20 plus years. We grew up, speaking, reading, writing Arabic language. My brothers and sisters are fluent in Arabic. I speak Arabic, my first language or whatever. But I never knew what Tawheed was, bro. Do you see what I'm saying? No. I never knew. Bro, put it this way, I always say this to people, yeah? Whenever I get invited at talks or whatever, I say this. I'm like, bro, to become a scholar, I thought you had to do a course. Oh, wow. Like, I'm like, how does this person become a sheikh? I'm like, what book do you read? Literally, but that's how stupid I used to think. Yeah. Like, not stupid, but because it was so new to me. Right. Like, don't get twisted, bro. I've been brought up into a nice Muslim practicing family. But it's one of them ones where, because I was so distracted outside home, it was a bit mad. So, from then I didn't really have anybody, and at the time on my social media I just stopped doing music, and I think one of the brothers recognized that I used to do music or whatever, so he DM'd me saying Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Who is this?
One brother called, I don't know if you want me to say his name.
No, but was he did he have a following?
No, but he was, I think he was told to get in touch with me by a person. Okay, he was told by Strides, yeah? Yeah. He was told by Strides to get in contact with, because I think Strides tried to get in contact with me before, but I think it was a situation where, because the persona I had before was kind of very, it was kind of intimidating. Okay. So people felt like if they DM me, I'm just gonna go on a mad one at them if they try and, you know what I mean? So somebody else DM me saying, Assalamu alaikum, akhi, I can see you going through some stuff, blah blah blah. Akhi, we're here for you. You're my brother in Islam. This and that. We should link up sometime. And all of this was kind of new to me, and I thought, you know what, bro? Like, why does a guy want to link up with me for? I'm like, I'm not on this. Like, this is a bit.
It's a bit left. It's a bit
left. You know what I mean? So I think I ignored it, and then 2 weeks later, I got another message saying, "Assalamu alaikum, bro. Akhi, come, let's link up. This, that."
From the same person.
From the same person,
Okay.
and saying, "What's your number?" And then I think at that time, I don't know what happened. I gave my number and it added me to a group chat. And this group chat had so many brothers, and I remember, bro, I went into this group chat. I got the most warm welcoming in my whole life, bro. Like, Assalamu alaikum, Nasser, this is my name. If you need anything, I'm here for you. Whether that be spiritually, physically, financially, this, that. And I'm thinking, brother, I've never got this from anyone.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So then I'm like, okay, cool. Wa alaikum salam. My name is Nasser, this, that. How you guys doing? Blah, blah, blah. And I was kind of not forcing it because I felt the love. But it's one of them ones where, you know, when you're typing and looking at yourself thinking, why am I doing this? Like, I've never done this before.
No.
So I'm sending a message now thinking, okay, cool. How much further is this going to go? And I get a message saying, bro, come football on Friday. We're going to meet up, play football, this, that. So I went to football now. I go football and I see all these brothers there, linked up for the first time. Brothers I've never met in my life, bro. Just shaking hands, Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam, come. Who's team you on? This team, that team, blah, blah, blah. We play football now. Football finishes, we're all walking together now, like half an hour walk. We got lost in the middle of Borough, South London, and then we go to a restaurant. We're looking for Morley's, but we couldn't find Morley's. Actually, we found Morley's, but then we decided to go to a restaurant. So we went to a restaurant now, and everybody's ordering and whatnot. And bear in mind, bro, I'm from, like, you don't see stuff like this, and I'm from the ends, innit? So when I went to the restaurant now, the bill comes. I see one guy trying to pay for like a £200 bill or something. You know what I mean? I can't remember what it was, what exactly it was, but I'm seeing one guy trying to do all this. I'm thinking, bruv, how? I've never seen this in my life. Like, where I'm from, I'm used to, yo, bro, I was my £1 that you owe me from secondary. You know what I mean? This, that was my 50p. You know what I mean? So me seeing this, bro, I was like, wow, this is something special. So yeah, I'm seeing like everyone trying to fight to pay for the bill and whatnot. I'm thinking, right, bro, I've never seen this in my life before. So I thought, you know what? These people are actually genuine. So then I started to get to know all the brothers, and then I got close with Strides. And then I got close with Strides. She was in this group chat. Everybody was sending reminders, whatnot. And then through Strides, me and him will kind of link up. And then one day, Imran calls Strides, and Imran goes to Strides, yo, bro, where you at? What you doing? And he goes, with a brother called Nasser. Yeah, we're just chilling. Why? What's up? And at that time, they had the office in Twickenham. So Imran goes to him, oh yeah, come, bring him. Let's chill. So we went to the office now. We go upstairs to the office, beep, scan, open the door. We go inside. Assalamu alaikum, Imran. I met Imran for the first time. Now I think Guled was there. A couple other brothers were there. Yeah, we just sat down, just vibes in, ordered pepes, ate some chicken and rice. And then after that, because basically my hobby throughout my whole life was kind of football and cameras and video editing and like videography and all that stuff. So all that computer stuff, editing.
But by now, have you started making YouTube videos?
No.
Okay, okay, fine.
But I used to have YouTube videos before.
Okay.
But that was music, innit?
Okay.
That was something else. So in terms of like actual videos, I never used to do that.
Right.
So now we're in the office now with all the pepes, and then I think I must have saw Imran trying to edit a video. I can't remember who was it. It was someone trying to edit a video, and it looked like
they were struggling. Not
struggling, but it looked like I'll get it done a lot quicker.
Yeah,
so I said, you know what, send it, man. Let me do it, innit? And I done it, and I think I finished in about 10 minutes or so. Nice, color corrected it, color graded it, whatnot. And Imran looked at it, he's like, right, this is sick. Like, if you know Imran, you know the energy he's got in it. So he's like, yeah, oh my bad, this is sick, mashallah, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, he liked it from there. And then, yeah, from there, we just started linking up more, got each other's number. And then through Imran, I met the brothers. I met Guled, Abu Bakr, I met Saad, Abbas. And then from there, I met Ustad Rahman. And then from there, I met Sheikh Jamal. And then from there...
It's like a link, innit?
Yeah, like it's just a domino effect. But the first person I met was Abu Bakr, innit?
Okay.
That was at Muslim Belal's video shoot.
Okay.
But if you're going to put it in terms of Muslim influencers or people in the Muslim scene, the first person I ever met was Muslim Belal.
Where did you meet him?
Oh, Muslim Belal, because because basically his daughter and my little brother went to the same school.
Okay.
So I was outside my little brother's school one time, and then I see him. I'm like, yo, and I was like 16 at this time, 15.
Yeah.
And
how old are you now? 19.
I'm
sure you're young, bro.
20 in October, yeah.
Oh, very.
So I went to Muslim Belal, yo, bro, imagine like
young, innit? I feel like an old man. Yeah, I know, but bro, I've always been the guy who's been the young one, and now I'm like getting older, and I'm like 5 years older than you. I'm like thinking,
You're OG now, bro.
Bro, because I was that guy that was the young one. I didn't start acting more mature. But carry on. So
yeah, Muslim Belal, imagine, bro, with all the madness that was happening in my life and what I was doing in music and this, that, and the other. I see Muslim Belal and I'm like, yo, and I used to listen to Muslim Belal whilst I was making music. You see what I'm saying? So I remember, bro, I knew his. What's that? I'm a Muslim, I came from the streets.
Yeah.
Bro, I knew that word for word. Like, so when I saw Muslim Belal, this is kind of like the first kind of celebrity figure I saw.
Yeah.
Like, that was a Muslim kind of thing. I was gassed. I'm like, yo, Muslim Belal, what are you doing
But
here?
he does have that presence, doesn't he? Because I think I had that feeling when I first... Where did I meet him for the first time? Oh, man. No, carry on. I'm going to think back to it.
Yeah, so I met him and I was proper gassed, bro, yeah? I'm like, what are you saying? I'm like, bro, like, I've been writing poetry, but, you know what I mean? I don't know what to do with it. Like, at that time, I was writing poetry and doing music at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's one of them ones where I'm like, bruv, I'm telling him I write poetry, but I haven't even shown him anything. So what's the point when I'm doing music? So I just kind of brushed it off my shoulder. And then, he goes to me, email me some stuff and I'll check it out. And then I didn't have his email, so
I very like that, isn't he?
Yeah. So I think where did I message him? I think I DM'd him on Instagram, and I said to him, "Yo, bro, check out some stuff. I emailed you some tracks." And he goes, "Yeah, this is sick. I like it. Keep it up. Blah blah blah." Bear in mind. Now looking back, I understand, like, you know, a young 15-year-old trying to holler at a guy like that up there. Not to say it's any ego purposes.
Nah,
but that's like, bro. Say a 7-year-old hollers you saying, "Bro, let me be your co-host for Freshly Grounded. Forget about Sam."
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Nah.
Like that. So I'm saying, bro, like, when we're gonna do a collab, this, that, and I thought he was gonna turn me down. So he goes, "What's your postcode? I'll book studio and I'll come pick you up." I sent him a postcode one.
But do you know what he's like? SubhanAllah. I remember now the first time I met him, and I thought he has this presence about him where you do feel a bit like shy, and you do feel a bit like, wow. And then I think it's because his experience as well.
Yeah.
And so when you meet him, he has that presence about him, and then you don't really want to like mess up and that around him. Innit?
I was like that for a long time, but I think only till about a couple months ago, that's when I got comfy. Yeah, no, I'm comfortable with him as well now, but he does definitely give that presence. No, 100%. And I remember I know what you mean. When I first meet people, or in the past when I first met people, I try and break down the barriers by busting joke. I would bust joke and he wouldn't, like, I'd get a vibe that it's like, you don't really bust jokes around my man, innit? Like, as in he's very reserved. But do you know what as well? When people are older as well than you, like you have to you have to change the way you act around people, innit? Yeah. And if someone's older than you, you don't really go in with jokes at first because it's not rude, but so I had to kind of switch up and say the other, but bro, like you're saying, bro, like even with me, bro, he shocks me like sometimes because he's so experienced with talking in front of people. I remember a few times. One time I had to do I was doing an event, and they must have cancelled on everyone else who was on that event. Ended up flopping it. It was me and someone else on the event. It's only two of us. So I'm already saying to the organisers, like, what, you want two of us to do a 2-hour event? And they were like, yeah, like, you can do it, it's fine. But I'm like, all right, cool, but I don't chat for an hour. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't got an hour worth of content to even talk about. So I'm like, cool. Then, bro, the day before they bailed me, they're like, yo, the other person has cancelled, and so you got to the whole event. And I was like, what? Another Freshly Grounded.
Bro, so I rang, the first person I thought to holler was Muslim Belal. I sent him a voice note and I was like, yo, Belal, basically I've got to hold a event, I don't know what to do, can you give me advice? Bro, subhanAllah, he was in, obviously, like he always is, he was in a different country.
This guy, he's not in the UK,
he's travelled the whole world.
Allah Barik.
And he answers he voice notes. I go to sleep and I wake up in the morning and he sent me a voice note. Or he sent me a voice note straight away. And he's like half asleep in the voice note. Yeah. And this is look how beautiful his character is, yeah. Half asleep and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning and he voices me, he goes, Assalamu alaikum, akhi. I just woke up for Fajr. I've got to catch my flight. My guys, the driver's waiting for me. I've got to be there in half an hour. I'm not even ready yet, but listen, bro, you'll be alright, you'll be calm, inshallah, look, this is what I normally do. And he sent me a long voice note, and he was in a rush, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning, he ain't even prayed Fajr yet, and then he's got to get ready, and then he's got to go to the and he's like spending 10 minutes, like, bro, so basically when you go there, just like talk to the and then at the end do a Q&A where you ask what this, and then he goes, sometimes you just want to, sometimes people just want a voice, so sometimes just ask questions and ask people to give their opinion on the thing. It's not always about asking questions for you, sometimes just ask them so that they can have they have a platform for their voice. But he's going in giving me advice. Okay, after that voice note, I'm thinking, I feel so comfortable to do this event now. But bro, look at how he did it, and just it's a similar story to what he did to you. And I know other brothers he's done it for as well, where he's just like, all right, cool, I'll come and pick you up, let's go studio. And you do think, wow, subhanAllah, like what a generous person. Like for him to like give me his experience, it's almost like him passing the torch and saying, all right, cool, this is my younger brother, and I'm gonna look out for him.
Even exactly what you said. Imagine recently he DMs me saying, my bro Nasser. I'm like, no, he goes, my young bro Nasser. I'm like, Assalamu alaikum, what are you saying? You're right. He goes, listen, bro, I'm about to pass you the baton, be ready. I'm thinking, bro, this is not sports day. What do you mean? You know what I mean? He goes like, yeah, I'm too old for this poetry thing now. Like, I'm only going to do special occasions. He goes, he's basically just saying how, he sees something in me and whatnot. Like, basically.
And he trusts me, bro. Trust me, yeah.
And so, yeah, bro, literally, that's the type of guy he is, innit? And for me, bro, he goes, send me a postcard, I'll pick you up, pick me up, took me to the studio, dropped me home. My mum's calling him now saying, look after him. This is the first time I'm like going away with a random guy. Like my mum's like, look after him, please, this, that. And then he's like, yeah, don't worry, auntie, this, that. And yeah, man, literally, man. From there, that was the first person I fully met Muslim Belal. Cool,
so that's your story, man. That's interesting. So it's interesting to kind of have context to how you kind of got to where you are, because a person doesn't just randomly go from 2,000 to 30,000 followers without there being some interest in their life and this, that, the other. But being as young as you are, there's obviously with young. So now that I'm getting older, clearly, there's like as you get older, what I've noticed as well, because I have probably been doing this for about 3 years now only. But you still notice that as you get older, your audience also gets older, and they grow with you, and your followers, they grow with you, 100%. And you don't like, the older you get, you're not, for example, when let's say, for example, you start now at 18, 19, and your followers are 16, 17, 18. When you're 30, your followers ain't going to be 16, they're going to be the same age as you, because they go with you, innit? Yeah. And then others come along the way and join you on the journey. So I'd say that my audience I've noticed a shift, that my audience has become more mature. And so the content I would create 3 years ago is not the content I would even create now, just because my audience has matured as well, and I'm maturing as a person, and I think they're noticing me mature as a person as well, and so likewise, and so therefore, with you being the age you are, you generally have an audience as well, although you have quite a mature audience, but generally you definitely have an audience that is also quite young, and the young audiences are the most like passionate, you know what I mean?
A lot of people say that, I mean, I thought the same thing until these Instagram, what's it called? Analytics.
Yeah.
Until they came out.
Nah, but do you know what? I
don't think that's real though.
They're not real, because on Instagram and YouTube, people always sign up with accounts and say that they're 18 so they get full access to things. So they're not realistic.
Does that include Instagram as well?
People generally do that. So
because on my Instagram it says like my audience is 18 to 24 year olds. You know what I mean?
You'll find that everyone says
that. I don't think so, man. I think it's more from about 16.
Bro, your audience definitely. But you know how you can tell your audience is younger? Because, who, for example, majority of the time watches like vlogs and stuff, it's going to be younger people who are in school and stuff. Now, when you're creating content for a mature audience, you're not really creating vlogs. You're probably creating like this, for example, long form podcasts. You're creating something that has a bit, and vlogs are amazing. I love vlogging, but bro, vlogging is like one of my favorite things. Right now, I'm not vlogging because my camera's broken. So basically, but you can tell, because when you create vlogs, the views that you get for your vlogs, you can tell you have a young audience, in the sense that Allahumma barik, mashallah, bro, your views are up there, bro, when you're putting vlogs out. No?
I don't think so.
Bro, your views are up there, bro, trust me. Especially, bro, you said you got 19k on YouTube.
Yeah. But the thing is, I haven't, look, for the first month I hit 10k, yeah?
Yeah.
And I was uploading videos, and then there came a time where I've been inconsistent. I think it's been about 4 or 5 months now.
Yeah,
and within that 4 or 5 months, I gained 6K subscribers,
Yeah,
and I haven't uploaded anything. So and obviously now I'm planning to come back and whatnot. But when I do come back, it's gonna be kind of a different focus kind of thingy. But yeah,
so
views, vlogs, it's alright. Don't get twisted, it's alright. But I think you're only saying that because of the Muslim scene.
Well, so my question is that how do you deal with? I know a lot of people deal with their followers and stuff in different ways, but how do you deal with having such a large amount of, because 30,000 people is no joke, how do you deal with having a large number of people, especially a lot of them being like around the same age as you, this, that, the other, a lot of them being female, how do you deal with having that responsibility on your shoulders? And yeah, do you find it weird? Do you feel like it's a responsibility for you?
Okay, 100%. Let me give you a Islamic overview.
Yeah.
Sheikh Saad Nasser Al-Shitri,
Yeah.
he was a brother told me this. He was asked, how do you feel whenever you give a fatwa?
Yeah.
And he said, before I give a fatwa, I imagine standing before Allah and the hellfire is in front of me. Yeah? Do you get what I'm trying to say? So he's saying he's very cautious with every little thing he says. Right. So of course, bro, every single person who's on social media, like it or not, you have a presence and you have a responsibility. Yeah. Whether you have 2 followers, 3 followers, 4 followers. Because if I'm posting videos and pictures of me in a club smoking alcohol with girls, committing zina, blah, 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 and I only have 4 followers, and one of those 4 followers get influenced and now goes and does it because I'm Muslim, but I do those things, and he thinks it's okay because I'm online, and they kind of trying to replicate my actions, like I'm still getting the sin for that, and they're also getting the sin for it. So no doubt, 100%, bro. Like if you're on social media, you do have a social media presence. Or even Allah says in the Quran, I think it's Surah Ahzab, he says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَعَنَ الْكَافِرِينَ وَأَعَدَّ لَهُمْ سَعِيرًا خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا أَبَدًا لَا يَجِدُونَ وَلِيًّا نَصِيرًا. The ayah was رَبَّنَا آتِهِمْ ضِعْفَيْنِ مِنَ الْعَذَابِ وَلْعَنْهُمْ لَعْنًا كَبِيرًا. This ayah here is speaking about the people, you know, who are basically role models of today and whatnot, yeah? Allah is saying that the people, like, for example, you got, say for example, you got me, and you got my followers, yeah? And if I'm out here, you know, trying to promote some mad stuff that goes against Quran and Sunnah and goes against, you know, Allah's legislations and whatnot, if I'm out here really promoting stuff like that, and my audience now gets influenced, on Yawm al-Qiyamah, what they will say to Allah will say to them, okay, oh, you flock, basically. Why did he listen to Nasser? Why, like, you can clearly see that he was misguiding you from the truth, and why did you listen to him? And they, when I would say, these people who are my followers and looking up to me, comment in love hearts and saying, keep it up, bro, like, love your work. These are the people that were telling me this in this world, and I'm misguiding them. And then on Yawm al-Qiyamah, they will say, what? رَبَّنَا آتِهِمْ ضَعْفَيْنِ مِنَ الْعَذَابِ وَلْعَنْهُمْ لَعْنًا كَبِيرًا. They will say to Allah, oh Allah, give him double the punishment, and give him a mighty curse.
That's true.
But I'm kind of pleased with all the little...
Yeah, it's true. It's good. It's important for us to like humble ourselves and to realize the level of like responsibility that anybody has, bro. I'm not even just talking about people who are not even micro influencers. Even anyone who has 10 followers.
100%. I think it was a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ as well, where he said, every son of Adam is. I don't want to paraphrase it, but it was basically saying how everyone is a shepherd of sheep.
Oh, subhanallah.
Everyone is a shepherd of sheep, because you can't be a shepherd of a camel. Why not? Because when you like, you have to be tough and rough with a camel. If you try and pull a camel by its nose, it's gonna listen to you. But you have to be a bit tough with it. But if you're a shepherd of sheep are little masakeen, they're like very innocent, they're fragile. So what we gotta do is maybe give them a little tap on the side. And this advice I was given by an elder. So with sheep, maybe you gotta give them a little tap on the side, and you kind of give them direction. Okay, cool, walk towards this direction. Sheep will listen to you easily, but camels won't listen to you. So every son of Adam is responsible for the flock. And if you're not guiding your flock and giving them right direction, it's a big problem, man. But not to say I'm kind of a sheikh or something. Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm still young.
Very young. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, of course we're gonna make
in life generally. You're 19.
Yeah, of course.
We're gonna make mistakes.
But I'm saying there's things that I won't do that people do. For example, I would inshallah. This is my intention. Inshallah, I mean, Allah give me the strength. I would never put music in my vlogs. Inshallah. I never put music in my videos, only because I was doing music and I know how much that affected my heart, bro, and how it can misguide someone. Yeah, like I will never Inshallah, may Allah give me the strength, because obviously it's about how you finish the race, and I'm speaking like this is my iman speaking right now. The little iman I have is speaking. Inshallah, I will never put a girl in my video. Like I will never, you know what I mean, basic things like that. But it doesn't mean that every video I'm gonna be sitting there saying Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalam, brothers and sisters. Like that's you know what I mean. I'm not gonna be, every video is not gonna be a nasiha video. I'm gonna have some jokey videos. I'm gonna have some funny challenge videos. I'm gonna have some general vlogs just showing what I'm up to.
And also, bro, it's advice that a brother gave me, like an elder brother gave me as well, is he said that, you know, with stuff like for example the videos like with those kind of videos, we've got to almost, and I'm not speaking for anyone else other than myself here, but like people like me, we've got to leave that stuff to the shaykh and leave that stuff to the people knowledge. So if I find myself sitting there doing a nasiha video, I mean, if it's something that I'm talking about my own experience and I'm saying this is how this impacted me, so guys be careful, it's different. But if I'm sitting there making a video, I would feel like, for me personally, not for anybody else, I'll be stepping out of my lane.
100%.
And so I think that at the age of, and it's not about age either, I'm not saying that, but at the age of 19 as well, to have that level of like understanding that, you know what, it's better for me to stay away from that stuff right now.
100%.
And stick to kind of like motivating our generation, I think is a safe and good path. But Allah knows best in it. The way
I see it is, bro, look, as much as I'm kind of in the Muslim scene, if you want to put it like that, and I'm 19 or whatever, people are gonna take some sort of Muslim presence from me. Like sometimes I give reminders here and there, but not like, people might hear me read Quran, people might hear me narrate a hadith or narrate an ayah from the Quran or whatever. I'm not like denying that it's good. I do it sometimes, but I'm saying to like wholeheartedly make that my kind of thing. Obviously I would love to, but it's not my thing, you know what I mean? So the way I look at it is kind of, I'm a stepping stone kind of thing. So people might watch my videos, think to themselves, okay, right, this guy doesn't put music in his videos, why doesn't he put music in his videos?
And then they want to find out more about the deen.
Now they might go on to maybe a little, like, maybe they might go into little reminder videos. Then they might step onto maybe an Imran or someone else, and then from there they might go to maybe a more Ustad al-Rahman or Ustad al-Hakim, or like students of knowledge or shuyukh, and then from there they go to the scholars. Do you know what I mean? So I'm kind of that, I'm that person that kind of sparks the thought in them.
Okay.
I'm not here trying to guide everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my intention. But at the same time, I'm not saying my videos are all Islamic. It's not. Like, there's going to be some sense of Islam. You hear me say, MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah, Allahumma barik.
Yeah, like, you just want to do your thing casually, how you do your thing, but just like not come out the boundaries that Allah has set.
Basically. So the owner of Amazon, 20 years ago, I was looking at a picture,
Jeff Bezos.
20 years ago, he was chilling in a small office, bro, like a cramped up office, and he just said Amazon on the wall. And that's 20 years ago, bro.
Bro, Jeff Bezos, who did Amazon, is very inspiring in a lot of ways, man. I quote a lot of his sayings in meetings. When I have like business meetings, and like someone will say something, I will back it up with like a quote from him, and then people always like, raw, like, because he says some of the most amazing stuff, bro. Like, he's very, very inspiring. In fact, I would recommend people to watch Jeff Bezos's videos, like his interviews and his seminars online, just to get an idea of his mentality, because it's a very good and strong mentality, and it's also a mentality that he says things that make you go, oh, like, I should have known that. Like, for example, I've spoken about it before in the podcast, when he talks about simplifying things. Like, he says, like, he said with Amazon that everybody else was trying to think about the next big thing, and I said, why don't we focus on assurities? Why don't we focus on things that people will never not like? Like, for example, no one's going to say, I love Amazon, but the delivery is just too quick. So I'm going to focus on delivery. No one's going to say I love Amazon, but the customer service is too good.
You know what's mad? You mentioned this to me the first time I met you.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
heard about 5 times myself.
Yeah, I say it all the time because it hit me hard, bro. Like, and my point in that is that that's the kind of mentality that when you hear it, you think, raw.
I think I was reading in the book somewhere, I think it was called Secrets to be Successful, and it says the way you become successful is by providing a service that makes life easier for someone. Literally.
Bro, you know what? On that note, there's a book that I really want to read. That's quite an old book that a lot of people probably read. I think it was a bestseller, but I just never got around to reading it myself. And it's called something like the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People or something. Have you read it, Nate?
No.
It's very, very, very popular book. I think Omar's read it maybe. But it's very, very common. But I just haven't. I'll read. That's my next book I want to read. Inshallah. If you see, I'm trying to build up a bookshelf. I'm trying to build up not a bookshelf, a book like library in my house. I used to hate reading books, but that was my ego speaking. And now, alhamdulillah, I love reading books.
Yeah, wallah, me as well, bro. Like, I only started reading 2 years ago.
Yeah, same here. I only started reading about 3 years ago. Yeah, myself.
Islam got me back into reading.
Nate, you've always been a reader, innit?
No.
Really?
I started to read books, but I never finished them.
Okay.
And the first book I finished was Don't Be Sad after I took my
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you'd always been, bro. So I was reading. I was watching a video. Tim Ferriss was explaining three tips on speed reading. So to read faster, the idea of speed reading is to be able to read a book as fast as you possibly can, but without losing any what's the word I'm looking for, Nate? Because of the sea.
Context?
No.
You basically want to be able to scan the book and still understand what's happening.
Yeah, without losing any. Alright, so basically, but what Nasser says, so you want to be able to read it as fast as you can, but without losing what you're actually reading, yeah? Like say just, so not say it just goes out, say it just go out your head. For me, it's so annoying because it's like in my head. Anyway, so here are the 3 tips that he gave. I can't remember all of them, but I'll tell you 2 of them. So one of them is that when we read, what we'll realise that our eyes obviously often use peripheral in it with everything we do. So right now I'm looking at Nate, but because of my peripheral, I can also, if someone walks through the door now, I'm going to be able to see it because I can see it from my peripheral. So likewise, he said with the speed reading, when we're reading, let's say a book, and we start at the first word, there's all this dead space next to it, which is like the just like dead space on the page, innit, on the book. So instead of reading from the first page, read from go like an inch in on either side and draw some lines. It's very hard to say without like explaining, like showing you. But do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
so you draw lines like an inch into the book, and then you read between the lines. And what you'll find is that you're not losing any words because your peripheral is picking up the first word and the last word anyway still. So. But you're losing that space, which means that you've made your reading a bit more effective, if that makes sense. Yeah. And the idea is that you can slowly bring in the lines more and more as
that's where the focus is.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's basically had to read faster without losing any comprehension.
Comprehension.
Woo! Finally got it.
No.
Finally got
I think that was the word.
Comprehend.
That was one tip, and then the second tip sounds so easy, yeah, but it doesn't. But you don't realize how effective it is until you actually do it, and that is literally we often think that our eyes are smooth and they read things smoothly and they look at things smoothly. So we read a book from left to right, thinking that our eyes are just following the words. But if you were to close one of your eyes and put your finger on it, and you were to look from one end of the room to the other end of the room slowly, what you'd realize is that your eye actually jumps. It doesn't go smoothly.
Look from one end.
Look, so no, not pan, just pan with your eye. So look, put your index finger on your left eye. Close your left eye. Put your index finger on it, and now look at the top corner, for example, on that wall, and don't move your head. Just move your eyes. Now move your eyes to that end, and then slowly enough, and you'll realize the eye is actually jumpy. It's not smooth.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So
like a time lapse.
Right. So we often think that our eyes are smooth, but they're not. And so,
where do you learn that, by the way?
On this video by Tim Ferriss. So, when we read books, we think that we could just read like that, but our eyes actually can't handle that. And so what you need to do is just simply by having some sort of like way of kind of measuring or something to follow with your eyes, it makes it easier. So if you just put your like index finger, for example, on the page, on the line, and then you read like that, and you follow your finger rather than the words, your eye will be able to focus on the finger and it will go smooth. So those 2 tips help speed reading.
I'm not gonna lie, that's some, a couple gems.
Try them, bro.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
I tried it and instantly my reading got quicker.
Never.
Yeah, instantly my reading got quicker.
Yeah, actually, send me that video, man. I wanna watch it.
Yeah, inshallah.
Send me that video.
But I'm trying to get that book. So if anybody has that book and has read it, send it in. what is it called? The 7. Oh, what is the name of that book? The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Yeah. And apparently, I don't know this for sure, but Omar, am I right in thinking that one of the habits is that they meditate in the mornings?
I don't know. I can't remember that, but I think so, yeah.
Okay, I might be wrong here, but I believe that one of the habits of highly successful and effective individuals is that every morning they meditate, which is for us what Fajr, yeah. We pray Fajr, innit? And another one is that they read. You do not find a successful person unless they literally read left, right, center, other than Floyd Mayweather. But I'm saying, with regards to success in the sense that, because a success that requires intellect in the sense of.
Yeah. You have to basically be a learned person to some sort of degree to become successful. Some kind of.
I think so. I think you could be highly skilled and that can get you so far.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you can only give yourself more of an advantage if you were to have intellect to go alongside that skill.
Be a bit more knowledgeable.
That's all it is.
That's all.
And nowadays, look how easy it is. We can listen to audiobooks with Audible. We can listen to podcasts. So while we're driving, we can watch lectures while we're driving. And so it's easy.
Yeah. One click away, mate.
Alhamdulillah. Oh, another tip I have, Nasser, is that YouTube. Yeah. They just recently released a new thing called YouTube Premium. Have you heard about it?
Is that a download thing?
So you can download, you can watch videos offline, and you can also play a video, exit the app, and then it will carry on playing.
Oh, that's so sick.
Which changes the game for me, because if I wanted to, for example, watch a lecture or something while I was driving, but then I don't know the way to where I'm going, which is the majority of the time, I have to use my maps or Waze, and so I can't listen to the lecture. I have to put like a podcast on something. So now I can actually exit. And for the first 3 months, it's free. So so you can just cancel it after 3 months. So you might as well get it.
How much? It's £20 a month, isn't it?
£11.99.
£11.
It's quite expensive. It's more expensive than Netflix, I think.
Yes.
Anyway, alhamdulillah, we've had some nice discussions. Yeah, we're going to go into some current events now with our friend, our brother Nathan.
Batteries don't run out.
Should we take a break before we go to current events then?
Yeah, quick one.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and once we're back, we'll be going into some current events. See you in a sec. Okay, we're on, yeah, we're live, we're recording, we're rolling. We are rolling, and we are back, and we're about to go into some current events. And so without any further ado, the backup audio set up. Without any further ado, let's get into some current events. Did you like that?
That's a nice voice, I can't lie.
That was intense.
That did read though.
Hey, Nate.
Now I'm about to ruin it. Alright. Alright, I suppose let's start with something a bit more relevant right now due to the heat.
Okay.
Fire.
This is basically giving you an update on the hottest tube lines that you might want to avoid.
Central line number 1.
This is good.
Ooh, Central Line, he says, but you're wrong.
You're wrong, Nasser.
Was that not number 1?
No.
Bro, that train, even in winter, whenever I go in it, I just start sweating.
Yeah, Central Line is...
It's
hot.
second.
Central Line is hot.
It's second at 30 degrees.
Piccadilly can't be first.
Nah, Piccadilly's like
Fourth.
cool.
Is today
like,
the hottest day of the year?
I don't know what's
Tomorrow
about.
apparently. Tomorrow's
Really?
30 degrees. If today's 29, tomorrow's 30 degrees.
But it's basically saying avoid the Bakerloo line.
Bakerloo
Because
Line.
as it's the oldest and it's not been updated in a while and it'll be sitting around 31 degrees.
What station's on Bakerloo? Is that like Brixton?
No. It's, Bakerloo's like
Regent's
Waterloo,
Park, Baker Street.
Okay.
Waterloo, all
Paddington.
that, Baker Street, yeah. All them lines there.
Okay, so number 1 is
Bakerloo line.
Yeah.
Central Line is close second, 30 degrees.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what mine.
Jubilee Line, that cools down a bit, it's about 26. So
Nice. Dropped a couple degrees
so from
Celsius
there all the way
there.
down, Jubilee, Northern, Piccadilly, Victoria, Waterloo and City. So
What's the best one? City?
Waterloo and City, yeah, 25
those
degrees.
are new ones, isn't it?
Yeah.
They look
So
nice.
they're fully
Got some air conditioning in there.
decent.
Got some AC.
Throughout the football, and everyone wants to go travelling to watch wherever, try and avoid the Bakerloo line.
Try and avoid that Bakerloo line, boys.
Yeah.
Nasser, do you get the train a lot?
Every day of my life. Bro.
Really?
Mhm.
You're a train man, are you?
Train man.
I knew a kid back in primary school who wanted to be a train driver.
Who?
Like a
you
friend.
knew a
Yeah,
kid,
I mean, there's no point me telling you his name. You wouldn't know who he was. But
Bro,
yeah.
imagine, I think year 3, I said I wanted to be a sofa when I grow up.
So far, that is very ambitious.
Okay, well, I just said so people can sit on me. I'm thinking, what the hell are you talking about?
Bro.
Yeah, it sounds mad. I can't lie. But yes.
Alhamdulillah, bro. There's no worse things. I remember when I got asked in primary school, I went to be an
better than being a
rug. Yeah. So people walk over. It's true.
Oh god.
It's better than being a doormat.
You wanted to be that?
No.
Oh.
I remember I got asked in primary school what I wanted to be. I had no idea. I still don't. And I think I said fireman just because I guessed. I would have hated to be a fireman.
But year six I put policeman, rapper, video guy, or what's it called, or footballer.
Wow, very specific.
Do you remember back then?
Yeah, that was my year 6 levers.
I would love to ask Nate what he put in his year 6 thing, but it's a bit of a touchy subject, so we'll just move on.
I don't even know. Moving on. I can relate to this one actually. It's to do with the city again and how the disappointment of tourists about Big Ben right now because it's covered in scaffolding and it's been put down as one of the worst tourist attractions going.
Oh yes, yeah, I can imagine.
And but it's like that in London. I go through the city all the time and it's construction. I would hate to be a tourist coming here. It'd be a waste of time.
That's like imagine going to the Maldives and there's no sea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why is the Big Ben going through construction? Why is it being so long?
Fixing the clock, I believe.
How come it's been so long?
And refurbishing the whole thing, so it's taken 3 years.
3 years?
Man.
And it's the first time the clock's ever been off as well after 158 years. Or
really?
Yeah.
And what year? How many years has it been going on for?
159.
Yeah.
No, I mean how these construction.
I started end of last year, I think,
Oh,
or
so
this year. Beginning of
while.
this year, I think it did. Yeah. So it's gonna be a long 3 years for tourists.
Well,
and myself that have to look at it all the time.
I mean,
there's nothing here anyway, man. It's just London Eye or Big Ben.
Yeah, there's not much
other than nightlife. If you know, go to a little Leicester Square, a bit of Soho, and that. That's not really attractive. But yeah,
I do like London though.
I love it.
Yeah, it's
I love me
city.
some London.
Yeah, can't lie.
Outskirts.
There was a time when I wanted to move abroad, but then I thought to myself, nah, my heart's here, man. Can't lie.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
We're Londoners.
Yeah.
Islamic Londoners, a bunch of chaps.
Yeah.
What's next, Nate?
Let's give you another one for you gym guys. So this one is saying, can you lose weight without exercise?
I have no clue.
I think the answer
I'm not even gonna try and answer this.
I'm gonna say that I think the answer is yes, but just not in a healthy way.
Of stress, innit?
No, you
You could just like eat really.
I don't really have to read it much of it, but it's basically just saying you can lose weight without exercise because 75% is to do with your diet of losing weight anyway. So exercise isn't actually a big part of losing weight. It's just what you take in and stuff like that. So your diet is very important.
Diet is so important, man. That's the one thing I slack on so much, and so do you.
Bro,
Don't even try to say they don't because you drink Coke.
The only thing, that's the only thing that kills it though. Coke.
Yeah, because you get people saying, "Oh, I can't lose weight because I ain't got time to exercise and that," but they probably eat a load of rubbish
That's
anyway.
true.
That's what I'm saying, bro. For me, if I cut out Coke, my diet would be very.
How many Coke cans do you drink a day?
Oh, look, before it was 6, yeah.
Yeah.
Before that's
Yeah.
like a couple months ago. Now it's about maybe 2,
Bro, 2 Coke cans a day is awful.
I got banned from drinking Coke.
maybe 2. Bro,
By who?
My dad stopped me when I was a kid. I was too hyper. I
Bro,
wouldn't stop.
You know how bad 2 cans of Coke is a day? That should be like a once a month thing, like as a special.
I tried it. I was off it for a week and a half. Couldn't.
But bro, that
Bro, you know
sugar
what it
intake is
is?
gonna be damage you in the long
Bro,
run.
it's
you
the
know?
bottle. It's that red and white, bro. It looks at you. I genuinely believe, bro, this drink has something inside it. I can't lie to you, man. By the way, guys, this the whole thing. I've been drinking tea this entire time.
He's been drinking Coke at the 59 cup.
Yeah, literally.
Nah,
I
it's
actually
not
believe
good.
there's still some
Bro,
sort of
it's-
madness in there.
But bro, I tell you what the madness is sugar.
No, it's not sugar because I eat other sugary stuff and I don't do the same thing that Coke does to me.
Are you not scared for your body?
I am. I can't lie. Actually, I am because I think it was 4 days ago. I drank a bottle of Coke before I went to sleep. Literally just before I went to sleep. Went on my bed, went to sleep, woke up with the maddest, gassed out belly. My belly wasn't feeling good, and from there I knew this drink was an enemy.
Because you know what, bro? Some people like gun people down for having too many coffees.
Yeah.
But at least there are some studies that say that even having 5 to 6 cups of coffee a day is good for you. But no, everyone has unanimously agreed that coke is bad.
Yeah, I agree as well.
We need to work on that, Nasser.
We need to work on it. I know.
If anybody has some remedies to help him, you're just in a good place that Sunnah Remedies is not here right now, because if he was, he'd be going.
I remember before a football game in the changing room, one kid was drinking a can of coke. I had to tell him that he's not playing. He can't play drinking coke.
You had to tell him.
Game. Yeah.
This is why he's gonna be on my team. Look at that attitude, bro.
There's no way he wouldn't have lasted.
Nah.
He would have been like Stitch.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's a kid as well. He had to learn the hard way. I'm afraid, but that's life.
That's good. You could be assertive in life.
I'm not gonna lie. I used to have fizzy drinks before playing football, but that was time back.
Now, I said we need to figure out your level of consumption of coke really concerns me.
Me as well. It concerns me as well. I can't lie. Like, I know if I carry on this way, I'm gonna have a mad illness when I'm older.
Of course, bro.
But
maybe not even when you're older.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
May Allah help you and us, all of us.
I mean, hey, this guy's carrying me now, but I'm leaving it alone.
What's the next current event, Nate?
No, on the road, I'm actually trying to stop in it. If anyone has
The final one.
sincere advice, please let me know.
It's quite a long article, so I'm not going through all of it, but it's basically saying, yes, you can stop snoring, and here's how.
Oh, please tell me how, because I recently, so since I came back from Saudi, in Saudi I caught this bug, yeah, I became ill, and the illness itself lasted 24 hours, but the effects on my nasal system is still going now, and I just keep blowing my nose, I keep getting like runny nose and all this kind of stuff, and because of that my nose is pretty much consistently blocked or trapped, and so I'm breathing through my mouth so much, and so I'm just snoring left, right, centre right now.
Well, there's one that can possibly help you there. We have anti-snoring mouthpiece, which can help widen your airway. So if your nose is blocked, you might get more through your mouth.
That sounds also like spiders can get in there.
Changing your sleep position.
Yeah,
a lot of people sleep on their back, sometimes tend to get caught in that horrible
I don't think I snore, man. But apparently I've heard some narrations, but I don't think they're authentic. that I snore.
But wait, I think everybody snores when they're extremely tired. But
I bust convo when I sleep.
That's weird.
Sometimes, but it will be about a relevant topic. For
you
example,
just tend to snore when like your nose is all blocked up and stuff because you can't breathe properly.
Something I done that day, I will speak about like very, very briefly, maybe 5 seconds. I'll be like, bro, pass the ball.
Oh, for real? Wow.
Like, offside. It's coming home. And there's another one that says that there's surgeries that reduce snoring. So does it actually say what it is though?
Well, on that topic, my friend actually...
Ear, nose and throat doctor. Let's see one of those.
Oh, the ENT.
Yeah, boy.
I've had a visit to the ENT before when I was younger. Anyway, listen, yeah, my friend, he recites Quran in the masjid as well sometimes, and his voice has always been quite nasally, and this isn't why he done it, but he's always had like this kind of issue with his nose, and so he went to the hospital and they said that he's got this thing in his nose. I can't remember what it is, and they operated on it and took it out, and now he feels like he can breathe much better over his nose. Mm-hmm. So perhaps I need to go check that out, because everyone always says that my nasal system is a bit mashed up. So I'll work on that. But thank you for that, Mr. Nate, for that episode, and that for that section of current events.
Bro, am I the youngest guy on Freshly Grounded?
I believe so. United, but you're very mature for a young person. Alhamdulillah. 19, man. 19 is young.
You know what's mad, yeah? All of my main friends are older than me, innit?
Your main friends.
Yeah, I don't have young friends, innit? Like, if you ever see me with people, they're all older than me.
It's good to be around people who are older than you.
Like, it makes you advance in terms of thinking, you know.
Same here.
You know.
Sorry, I'm talking this way because
all the people around you are younger than you. Oh, it just didn't work.
Nah, out of work, yeah.
Oh yeah, and going back to what we speak on before and how I met brothers and whatnot. I think, bro, if I didn't have some sort of respect, obviously respect works both ways and whatnot, but if I didn't have respect for them, I wouldn't have kind of been friends with them till now. Like, for example, there's a saying, the little things is what takes you far, you know what I mean? For example, I have a principle, I would never sit in the passenger seat of a car if there's elders in the car.
That's good, bro. Bro, it's
like I've been on a streak now, innit? It's been like 2 years.
Oh, really?
Like, I don't sit in the front when there's elders in the car. And I think because of little things like that, people just what's it called? Like, I don't know, man. Because you know when you're friends with a lot of elders, you learn a lot from them, innit? So in a sense where like he's kind of paying respect back in it.
I used to be sitting in the back seat drawing window pictures.
One time, I think I was with Only, with one of our teachers said, like, there was this, we were like in front of one of our teachers, and then this old man came in and said salam to us. Like, just randomly, like, he was just walking past masjid saying salam to people. And I can't remember what my teacher said, but he almost alluded to the fact that, like, we should be embarrassed that he came to say salam to us and not the other way around. And we were like, oh, right, that's probably true. Like, we should, like, like, we're the young ones, we should pay him respect and give him our salam first, kind of thing.
Now the youngest, there's a saying, the youngest have to be respectful to the elders, and the elders have to be merciful to the youngest.
You know a lot of sayings, Nasser. Alhamdulillah. So why is your name pronounced Nasser and not Nasir? Because there's a big difference.
Okay, let me take you back.
Take me back, bro.
School times, ever since nursery till secondary school, my name is spelled Nasser. So the typical English person would pronounce it
Nasir?
No.
Nasir?
No. The space station.
Nazir.
NASA.
Oh, NASA.
That's how it was, yeah. So primary school, everyone making them jokes. NASA space station rocket. I'm like, yeah, cool, funny. Yeah, and then it started dying out. So then, only till end of college, I was like, bro, why are people calling me NASA? Like, this is not what people call me at home, innit? I'm like, let me just embrace my culture. Let me embrace my...
Let me change the way my name is pronounced.
No, it's not changing, but let me show people the real way it's pronounced.
Let me instill the way that my name is pronounced.
Yeah, like that. So I said, you know what? My name is Nasser, yeah. And it's not a thing where I said, guys, my name is Nasser from now on. I just kind of I started saying my name like that, and my peers started saying my name like that.
So how do
people approach me saying Nasser?
Even like non-Muslim English people.
They try, but the tajweed is not there, innit?
So what do they say? Nasir.
Yeah, like that.
Nasir is alright. I'll take that.
It's alright. Yeah, it's alright. It's good.
I'd
effort,
accept
innit?
that.
Your name, Faisal.
Well, so my name.
Yeah, I don't know how you got to Faisal.
Okay, so what happened with my name is that when I was young, obviously when we were younger, our first language was Punjabi, not English, yeah. And so in like the Pakistani dialect, the way you would say my name is Faisal. Yeah, Faisal.
Mera naam Faisal.
Yeah, there you go. Mera naam Faisal. Yeah. So now, if you convert that into English, it just becomes Faisal, innit?
Okay, so mera naam Faisal, lekin maine Faisal nahi hu.
Wow. Akhi, you're there, akhi, you know.
I'm not a rapper.
Wow. He's not Pakistani, but he's Pakistan though.
Stop this now because I get excited whenever I speak Urdu.
Wow, you got proper Urdu, bro.
Yeah.
Your Urdu's there.
Dhire dhire se dil ko churana. Don't make me get poetic.
This is just becoming freshly guided Urdu now. So Faisal got turned into Faisal, and then like until I was like in uni, so like the whole like for 20 years I was called Faisal by everyone. I introduced myself as Faisal and this, that, the other. And then I think people used to say to me like, that's not how your name is pronounced, this, that, the other, but I was just used to it, innit? And then I just thought to myself, like you, I thought, you know what, bro, like I should probably pronounce my name how it's meant to be pronounced, innit? Which is Faisal. Yeah. So I was like, alright, cool, I'm gonna stop calling myself Faisal. And then people found it very hard because I think it's a sword. Yeah. So I thought, let me simplify a bit and call myself Faisal, innit? Like, because that's
like, the closest you can get.
That's close I can get with it being easy, innit? So I'll say my name is Faisal, and so now everyone calls me Faisal, except my family.
Big Daddy Faze.
Or Big Daddy Faze. You know, we do have 1 or 2 people called Big Daddy Faze.
Team 7 for life.
Mainly myself.
Do they know about the Team 7?
They don't know about Room 7, but I think we have to introduce that when we do a Room 7 podcast.
Yeah, I think we should definitely do that.
But because for the first 20 years of my life, everyone called me Faisal. My family still calls me Faisal. So my brother, you'll hear my brother say Faisal, my mom and my like siblings, they call me Faisal. But to everybody else, I introduce myself as Faisal, and I tell everyone my name is Faisal because that's the easiest and most closest, I'd say. And then we have it. This was episode 60 of Freshly Grounded. How'd you find it, Nate?
It's pretty chilled, pretty nice, pretty sweet.
Nasir, how did you find being on a podcast?
Found it absolutely amazing. It was a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
How long has it gone for?
But it's been maybe about an hour and a half.
No way.
Maybe less. How long was the first one?
Not having it.
The first one was about hour 10. Yeah. So we're on 20 minutes now.
It's been about an hour and a half.
Bro, it feels like we've been chatting for 20 minutes, bro.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Was it as hard as you thought it'd be?
Nah. Like literally before this I was stressing. I was like, bro, I don't think I could talk for this long. But
it's just chit chat, innit?
Yeah,
chopping it up.
Actually is.
Would you be willing to come back?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'll be down.
Yeah?
Big Daddy Faze anytime.
Okay, cool. Inshallah. So, brothers and sisters, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. If you are watching, this was Freshly Grounded episode 60. We were with Nasser Al Yarimi.
Yarimi. Softer on the R.
Yarimi.
That's it.
Nasser Al Yarimi. I've been Faze as always. And inshallah, Sam will be back next week.
Hashtag
Inshallah. Hashtag decaf. Oh yeah, bro. We need to get Sulaiman. Right. So basically, before I end the podcast, this podcast was meant to be me, Nasser, and Sulaiman solo. Who a lot of people requested to be on the podcast. And last minute, unfortunately, he couldn't make it. But when he can make it, we've got stories for days for you guys.
We're gonna have to make that another podcast. Inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. So brothers and sisters, thank you so much for listening. This has been Freshly Grounded. We're out.